Everyone, it's Armor Gaming. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Monster Legends. Welcome to a monster analysis on one of the newest cosmic monsters, Luponudo. This monster is the magic wolf monster. Sorry about that noise. And let me just tell you, this monster is powerful. This monster, if I had to take just a wild shot, I would say this is a top tier monster, like top 3 monsters of all the Monster Legends. And it is a free-to-play monster. It is just a quest monster. Assuming, hopefully, you have the monsters needed to get the key, and then you can get this monster to rank 1, and then you can invest Stardust in ranking up this monster, because I'm letting you know now, this is a top tier monster. Regardless of whether or not you have the other Wolfpack monsters, and you synergize with them, this is a monster that I can see a lot of players utilizing. So let's see, on a full moon night, a pack of 3 wolves crossed the cosmic portal and entered into the world of Monster Legends. I also wonder if SocialPoint is going to start releasing more of these special, like, 3-tiered monsters. Like, I hope if they do that, not all of them are, like, exclusive and then you can obtain the free monsters. I hope they're all obtainable. But yeah, it just makes me wonder because there's a lot of synergy between these 3. The oldest and wisest, Master Masher, who's the exclusive, was the father of the other 2. Ulrika, who's going to be the maze monster, and Lupon, who is the current quest monster, the upcoming quest monster. Let's see, Lupon is a wild child most of the time. He drives his father and sister crazy, but in the crucial battle moments, he's the glue that keeps the family together and the one who makes sure they'll all make it to the next fights. So, I know he looks crazy and everything. He's actually a support monster, and you're going to see why he's so amazing, and why I'm saying he's like top 3 probably. So why, question mark, in battle, Lupon is a support monster who can heal allies, cleanse status effects in both allies and enemies. He can also transfer turns and boost the damage output of an ally. Evolving trait, you are immune to blind, which helps against Vampira, who's definitely used in the meta. At rank 1, you also block resurrection, no reviving for the enemy team. And at rank 3, you get a reverse healing status caster. You start the game off with reverse healing, which means any healing, any life regen, any relic that heals, it is actually going to work against the enemy. That is pretty awesome. Obviously, just looking at the trait, this monster is not immune, this monster is susceptible to getting denied. So your basic denial, your stun, your freeze, you know, it had to have been done, your possession, otherwise he'd be way too powerful. So you can't blind and you block res, but you don't even have harden, so you are also susceptible to getting hit with dots and any negative effect. With that being said, let's talk stats. The life stat, 70,575, that's towards the lower end of the cosmic monsters. The power stat is also towards the lower end, 7,359. This is actually tied with that of his father, Master Masher. However, that doesn't matter. This monster is not an attacker, so who cares that the power stat is that? The only thing that matters with this monster is the speed stat, 5984. This is the second highest speed stat in the game. It is tied with that of Ignis, the first cosmic monster to get released. It is tied with that of Ferris, another support monster. It is tied with that of Vampirastro, the cosmic race marathon monster, and it is tied with Clements, which is an upcoming monster that has yet to been released. But yeah, there are now 5 monsters that have this speed stat, and it is the second highest because the fastest monster currently in the game is Moonming, the current Golden Pass monster. Now, I don't know how many players are actually going to invest in Moonming. Ignis, I feel like as more and more monsters get released, Ignis is kind of getting pushed out of the meta. Ferris, he's a good support, but he's not incredible. Vampirastro is used in basically every single team for offense and defensive purposes, has so many extra turn skills. Now, the interesting thing about this monster is you are faster than Lindworm, who has a speed set of 5962. So all things being equal, you are officially the fastest turn transfer monster. How cool is that? Alright, let us continue. Relics. This monster, on top of being super fast, has a revival essence. You can hold the essence relic. So that's one of the biggest things about Lindworm. The fact that if he dies, he comes back to life. Well, this monster is no different. If this monster dies, you come back to life. And it's funny too because you block resurrection yourself. So if the enemy had some monster that can resurrect and they kill your monster, they're going to have to kill you again, because if not, you are still preventing the enemy from resurrecting. Alright, and then you can hold a Mask Relic, which is very interesting. Looking at this monster design, you would assume this monster can hold a cane, right? A Cane of Atlantis, kind of just like Lindworm. I believe he does the cane. I don't think I'm crazy. Yeah, he has a cane. But nope, it's unfortunately the Mask Relic, which I'm sure you can get some usage out of it, but I would have really preferred the cane. It even goes with the monster design. But with that being said, yes, the important thing about this monster is you can resurrect. Looking at the other monsters, Ignis, Ferris, Vampirastro, I don't believe any of them could revive. Clements, I'm not sure what the relic slot for that monster is just yet. So yeah, super fast resurrection monster and support. So let's talk about the skills. Oh, actually books. Families, villains, adventures, and cosmic. Ooh, so the fact they're in the villain, watch out for those villain hater monsters out there. Alright, a little anarchy. This skill removes all negative effects from one ally and it heals by 25%. This has no cooldown and it costs no stamina. If you're ever in a situation where you have no stamina and you got hit with CDA, guess what? You always have a cleansing skill that you can spam. This reminds me, this is literally the only reason why I liked Moonming. Moonming had a skill called Felix something. It was basically a cleansing skill that was spammable, which I liked. This monster essentially has that too. Bottom of the deck. Deals very low special damage to an enemy, applies reverse healing. It is just a reverse healing mechanic. 5 damage, that has to be the lowest damage we've seen, obviously, other than 0. 1 should go down, 7 stamina cost, and yeah, it is just reverse healing to the enemy monster. This skill, I actually love that this skill deals damage because it could potentially trigger a relic to kick in, and that relic would have healed, but thanks to the fact that you apply reverse healing, it is actually going to kill the enemy. So, funny enough, you might actually win the game with bottom of the deck. Alright, let's continue. Bad joke. Removes positive effects from one enemy, applies double healing to the enemy. So this cleanses positive effects, but you also give the enemy double healing. Obviously, this is meant to work with your whole reverse healing mechanic. So, this could obviously work out, right? You battle a Megaton monster, you could just go ahead and remove the Megaton from the enemy, and just the fact that you double healing, that's not really a bad thing because you can follow up with some other skill to work against it. Because also at the start of the battle, they start off with reverse healing, which is a negative effect, so it's not like you're cleansing that. So let's keep Bad Joke in mind. Killer Joke. This deals moderate magic damage to one enemy and applies life regen to one enemy. So obviously this could somewhat synergize with Bad Joke. The bad thing is if the enemy was to cleanse the reverse healing, then they just have a free life regen. I'm not a big fan of that, so let us continue. Make Them Stranger. Heals allies by 50% and heals all enemies by 25%. So this is a way for you to heal your team and damage the enemy. Now the funny thing about this monster, like, check this out. If you battle a Megaton monster, okay guys, if you go first and you battle a Megaton monster, because the enemy Megaton monster has reverse healing, right, because of your status caster at rank 3, if you do Make Them Stranger, you are actually taking away 25% of HP from the enemy Megaton monster. How funny is that? This monster who's not an attacker, who's purely support, has the potential to take away 75% of HP from the enemy Megaton monster. That is more than some attackers out there. So yeah, don't discount this monster, right? He can potentially be used to kill the Megaton monster. You know, you follow up with an attacker, the attacker does the remaining damage, and you're good to go. So, at rank 3, this is a minus 75% against Megatons. And if there's no Megaton monster, obviously you synergize this with a reverse healing mechanic as a way to heal your team and damage the enemy. Masher Reprise gives 1 extra turn to one ally, removes negative effects from all allies. This has to be the ultimate cleansing skill because you turn transfer. All negative effects are gone. Whatever they had, possession, freeze, stun, dots, whatever, it is all completely gone. You get an immediate extra turn. I feel like right now in the game, this counts for so much. You know, talking about Vampirastro, who can apply her Nightmares, her Blind, her Bleed, AoE skill. Hey, don't worry, turn transfer and all negative effects are gone. This is like top tier meta skill right here. Masher Reprise, it is incredible. It is so phenomenal. Love this skill right here. Moving on, we have Turned In on itself. Deals low special damage to all enemies. Actually, I feel like I skipped over it too soon. I mean, it's a basic turn transfer, right? So basically, because this monster is super fast, 5984, faster than Lindworm, any monster you want to can have this monster speed, right? You just turn transfer into your attacker if you need to attack. It's funny, you can run Vampirastro as a pure attacker, maybe 1 team speed, turn transfer into her. She's able to do her ET skills and attack. Don't have to worry about negative effects. Even if you're facing, if you're facing an enemy that applies a status caster against you, not a problem, right? If you're facing another one of these who did reverse healing against you, not a problem. Masher Reprise cleanses that. If you're facing a legendary Lord Pumpseed who does Minor Blind, not a problem. Minor Blind is gone. Ultimate turn transfer skill right here. I absolutely love it. Yeah, so turn transfer to the attacker if you need to kill the Megaton, whatever you need to do, incredible. Turned In on itself deals low special damage to enemies, applies reverse healing to enemies, removes positive effects from all enemies. Amazing, right? This monster can not only cleanse from your team, you can also remove positive effects from the enemy team, and it is phenomenal because you reverse healing everyone. Alright, so even if they cleanse your status caster reverse healing, hey, you get another reverse healing on a 3-turn cooldown, 36 stamina cost. I mean, straightforward skill, right? Cleansing. Any monster that can cleanse from your side and cleanse from the enemy side is incredible. And has a turn transfer. Oh my gosh. And then we have Masher Starter, which applies physical weakness to enemies and gives 1 extra turn to itself. So, for the most part, you are not going to be running this skill unless you have an ally that has physical attacks that relies on physical-based damage, aka her sister Ulrika. That is the combo, right? You really don't need this skill. Now, that being said, this skill is potentially useful in the sense that it is a free extra turn skill, right? So, if you were to get possessed, the fact that you could potentially use Masher Starter, not deal any damage to your team, get yourself an extra turn, then be able to do something, that's kind of nice. Also, it helps reset the cooldowns on this by 1 turn. So, for example, if you did Bad Joke, next turn you could do Masher Starter and then do Bad Joke again if you needed it. So, you know, there are some ways to synergize with it. For the most part, though, you won't be running it because you're probably going to have a full slot. But if you find a situation where you do need that extra turn skill and it's going to help you out, definitely be sure to run it. The ultimate Ancient of Chaos deals insane special damage, being 75, applies a random negative status effect to all enemies, applies a random negative status effect to all enemies 3 times over, so the enemy gets 3 random negative effects. I don't think that's a game-changing ultimate that will destroy the enemy. I don't think it's that crazy. The insane special damage won't deal too much since you're not an attacker, so the ultimate is whatever, honestly. The 3 negative random status effects is nice, but it's nothing too crazy in my opinion. What is crazy about this monster are the skills and the fact that you can revive, the fact that you block resurrection, and the area healing mechanic is a mechanic that I think is super, super valuable, especially in a world where literally relics can heal you all the way back up, or not all the way back up, but a good majority of your life, right? You battle someone that has a cane sword. If an enemy has cane sword and they attack you and cane sword was to trigger and they have reverse healing, they are really gonna have to think twice before attacking you. So, I mean, I love everything about this monster. Super fast, reviving, the skill set, gosh. Alright, let's get into what skill set I would recommend, how to ruin this monster. Ruining this monster is really simple. He's like a Lindworm. You give him 3 speed runes, or if you don't need him to go first, you give him 3 team speed, or if it just fits in your team where you just have him be faster than your attacker to turn transfer to cleanse to whatever, he fits pretty much any team. This monster, if you want to, is going to replace Lindworm in those legendary combinations, right? If you want to use this monster with a Madam Fusion, with some other attacker, go for it. With another denier, go for it. Again, the whole thing is that this monster can just churn transfer into whoever you need to, so it works. He's just a faster Lindworm in the sense of the churn transferring. Obviously, compared to Lindworm, this monster does not have a denial. You know, Lindworm can turn you into a baby, Lindworm can activate cooldowns, this monster can't do that. But what this monster can do is remove positive effects from the enemy team, remove negative effects from your team, and that is what makes him amazing. So, what skill set would I recommend? Masher Reprise is 100% your must-run skill. Extra churn removes negative effects. Your other must-have skill is churned it on itself, which is the enemy cleansing skill. So that is 2 skills already. I would also recommend the Make Them Stranger skill, which heals allies by 50% and heals all enemies by 25%. Again, especially against a Megaton monster, you can utilize that skill from the get-go. You don't even have to churn transfer if you don't want to. And then the last and final skill is between 2 skills. It is either Bad Joke, which removes positive effects and applies double healing, or it is a Little Anarchy, which removes negative effects from one ally and heals by 25, again because that is spammable, so it is a free 25% heal and cleansing whenever you need to. And of course, if you want to do Masher Starter, that does give you an extra turn, but most of the time you won't need it. So yeah guys, that is my skill set. The benefits of running Bad Joke is obviously the fact that you double healing, right? So, and it has a 1 turn cooldown, so you do Bad Joke, heck, maybe you're running this monster and a Lindworm, you do Bad Joke against someone that you really want to kill, and then you remove their positive effect, you give him double healing, you turn transfer back. Next time you do the Make Them Stranger skill, it's going to actually take away 50% of HP from the enemy monster. So even though he's not an attacker, he has the potential to kill. Such a powerful monster, a must-have monster. Make sure to get him. This is going to be one of those monsters that you absolutely take it to rank 5, just like Lindworm. So I think, in terms of the best monster in the game, I think he definitely competes with Lindworm. Although, unfortunately, I can't say that he's better than Lindworm because Lindworm has, again, the whole being able to turn you into a baby and deny and having CDA. But it's hard to compare them two because this monster is support, whereas Lindworm is more of denial. So, I mean, other than that, they're both turn transferring monsters. I think Lindworm beats the relic slots being able to hold the Cane of Atlantis, so never have to worry about stamina. I don't know. I think it's definitely going to be a competition, but I think definitely top tier monster right here. So that's my thoughts on this monster. Now I want to hear from you guys. Let me know, what do you guys think about this monster? Any thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much, and remember to subscribe.